terms of how they play. Long, tall, fluid athletes. You see Gabby starting to warm things up over on the range. Amy Yang, the veteran of this group, going to be out in this 3-ball a little bit later on this morning. That is just effortless right there. The move. Looking forward to watching all those swings together. You've got maybe the most admirable tempo of almost any golfer in the entire field, and Amy Yang against two others that just make it look like it is almost at 80% normal speed, don't they?
This is team tempo.
Yeah.
Today, Ruffels, Korda, and Amy Yang. All kind of in different ways.
First, Gabby Ruffels has been announced, and the Aussie getting her final round of this Chevron started after that really brilliant 70 out late yesterday to not make a bogey.
She really has been a par-making machine, which is a good thing this week. Is this headed right? They can't really sight the golf ball too much from our angle.
The lie's not bad. I mean, a lot of the back of the ball is showing. I'm worried about her follow through. She take the club back, and that's what you see her kind of trying to navigate. That's what I'm worried about. If she were a few more feet away from this tree, she'd be fine. But I think she has to manage after she hits the ball that follow through.
I think Dwayne Smith, her caddy's just kind of talked her out of that hybrid play back to an iron.
No.
Well, she has 187 to the hole, so I think that's a wise advice from her caddy. Just get this back in the fairway and maybe get a wedge in your hand to that back hole location.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That has gone from bad to worse.
Just up on that plateau. Looks like driver's out, which means there is an unplay ball going on for Gabby Ruffels.
Yeah, she walked up here and acted like she was going to try to hit this ball out of this heather bush, whatever you want to call it. But she has taken it unplayable. She has about 50 yards now, and there's really truly only about 5 yards over this bunker. So I would imagine she tries to use the slope behind, kind of right and behind the hole to see if it'll funnel back down.
Insanely good from an off-it shot.
Now this for a 5 for Gabby Ruffels. Again, bogey-free yesterday, 18 holes. She did bogey her last 2 holes on the second round, when she finished up yesterday morning. And we had to come back early to wrap things up. So the bogey-free streak going to come to a close very early in this one today. This is not the start you're looking for out of the chute here at 1.
No, but the good news is Nelly was on a similar line. She should have got a pretty good idea around the hole what it's going to do.
That's got to go. 6 of them. Only 5 with the actual club in a hand. Penalty stroke as well, and Ruffels. Now, an interesting emotional check now for Gabby Ruffels. You either get mad, you can get despondent, or you can just laugh it off as golf after the double at 1. It started left. Oh, that is gone from bad to worse. That having won on the LPGA Tour.
I think part of that is also the weather. We had a lot of cold weather and interesting conditions pre-Chevron last year, so maybe that's the scoring average differential. Now Ruffels.
Almost tried to hop it in there for a crazy birdie, and that'll stick up top. Finished third last year in the Rookie of the Year standings. Made back-to-back U.S. women. We quickly go back to 2, and Ruffels trying to avoid a double bogey start. Now wants it to stop. Now she's going to have to work to avoid a double-double start.
The only place that is good is when you go through the line in and out. So how does the tail end for Gabby Ruffels?
We talked about how today is an opportunity for that high finish, best finish maybe of the season, that springboard, but now all of a sudden par 4s and the par 3s. Amy Yang 2 under on the par 3s this week. She's one of 38 players who is under par on the par 3s. You don't see that very often, that size of number. Ruffels now.
That was a 7-iron.
Oh, that's rock. No, and land.
We heard a bounce.
And it's up.
It was a wild ride. It's 5 shots in Amy's advantage in that example. Now Gabby Ruffels.
Don't get a whole lot of flat, soft bounces off of stone very often. Gabby Ruffels trying to get the good break and pay it off here.
Well, it's a dicey little lie, and she has to kind of carry it onto the green.
Tried to make it. Now, stay on the right level, it does. Shakiest of starts, isn't it?
Yes, and I know she was thrilled that that ball hit the rock and stayed on land, but it's still a very difficult.
Bind 13 in just outside the top 5 in that category at day's start.
You're a math major at Duke, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Didn't even need the abacus for that one. So if she can have stress-free pars around the birdies that she knows will come, that's how she builds her score today. Now Ruffels again.
I think we've all been here. Your head's kind of spinning a little bit. Now you're looking at another lengthy par putt. I guess I shouldn't say another par putt. That's the first actual putt she's had on the surface for par.
Angela, from your experience, like, what do you do now? Is this, your caddy becomes super important, obviously, in this situation as well, but how would you internalize this start to try and turn things around?
Well, I think as a whole, I mean, we got to look at, she was on the cut line, and she's happy now. She's happy now. She's playing the weekend. She has a great round.
It has been an expensive first 45 minutes today for Gabby Ruffels.
There are just so many constant reminders on this golf course about letting your guard down. Granted, for Gabby, she's kind of had a little bit of a double miss, right off 1, left off 2. So she's trying to find center of the fairway at the moment. So there have been some execution errors, but you make 1 and then they just compound. They continue to build. So she's 4 over through the first 3, just like that.
Yeah, she's lost 25 spots on the leaderboard with this 4 over par start through the first 3. Good news is, with her length, you got a par 5 coming up at 4 to just sort of start a new at 1. A toe hook into the weeds at 2. Got to find somewhere in between those 2 with the driver now for Gabby.
Needs to thread it too. Water left, bunkers right.
Probably her best swing of the day so far right there.
Maybe that'll settle her in.
I didn't behind all these trees, so I'm with you guys. I've been kind of shocked at some of the things I've seen this week on this hole. Abby's giving it a go. She's got 251 total, just 233 to get it to the front.
And a good play there. Pin kind of mid-right today. I think for
Carry onto the green, and then the whole location's 18 more on. All uphill into the green. But again, we find a hole location that if you get it going past the hole, it's going to run away from you.
we'll have a look from an appetizing place. I bet
Got my hands full over here.
All right, even from short range, I'm sure Gabby's got to give this quite a wrap up the hill.
You're right, and right to left.
Oh, that was a good putt. You mentioned she had to give it a little something, gave it too much, and didn't take the break. I like how decisive she is over the golf ball. Moves quickly, but well, it will be a much needed par. Not the hole you're looking to make par on, especially given the start. So she's got the right attitude at least as she walks off the ground.
Firm enough bounce.
All right, Gabby Ruffels trying to follow Nellie's line over those bunkers.
Fighting that driver today. Gets the break that time round.
And not a bad lie. Amy Yang, and now Gabby Ruffels did clear the bunker, but not the rough entirely.
Yeah, she's gonna 161 all the way back. I think with Gabby and Nellie, they need to be aware there's a ridge running through the screen about 17 paces on that is a downslope. So you need to be careful where you're landing this ball. Gabby coming out of the rough.
Hoist up a high draw almost.
And now Ruffels. Ruffels now on the tee at 6.
Had much better flow to that golf swing. Weight transfer in sync, should pull up. Just short of that bunker.
Many of those starts when you're a U.S. amateur champion like she was, and again has never missed the cut here at the Chevron, which is quite impressive.
She got 124 here. Ball is below her feet. Needs to pay attention to that.
Did you catch that just a touch heavy? Yep, sure did. Still not a bad place to miss down there.
The fairway for Amy Yang.
It's an optical illusion. You feel like you have to carry more than you do at times, but there's just so much complexity to a golf course that when you first see it, you just think it's not that hard. Like, it's pretty right in front of you. It's not, and I'm finally seeing it. I'm about a year too late.
The epiphany is real. So we see Gabby Ruffels make her parts. A really good point that Angela makes, and when you're having to be so strategic you know, it starts back on the tee, which side of the fairway you need to be on for the...
Fun right now. As she tries to settle things down at 13. Gabby Ruffels didn't have much fun to start this round of golf. Settled into it a little bit better. And that'll work. How many golf balls are we going to see between the edge of the green and the flags?
It's 2 seasons since she started, came out on tour.
What a awesome win it was last year at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, to have that breakthrough in a major. And you think about at the beginning of her career how close she came so many times to majors, and then sort of springboard from a CME Group Tour Championship to a major win in less than a calendar year. Was one of the more popular stretches on the LPGA Tour over the last couple of seasons. As Gabby Ruffels, the comeback begins now for Gabby. She pours in that birdie up the slope to get back to 3 over.
There is reward to be had at 7 if you can find that tiny little, you know, front flag. She might have gone kind of front left. We saw a lot of people do that in previous rounds. As off it goes for Gabby Ruffels. Second shot as well as around the greens. Yeah, they're stacked against you. Looks like Ruffels ready to go.
She's got 240 to the hole, but the number that they're really paying attention to is 212 to carry that waist bunker, and it'll roll out. Hole locations only on 8 bases today.
Not going to take anything on, and now we go back to the Ruffles shot.
I think she's reached for much loft here. No, she's trying to chase it up through the valley. How's that for a short game show for us?
That was a little clinic right there from all 3. An explosion shot, a pitch shot, a long bunker shot, and all of them practically inside the leather coming up for birdie.
Good, good.
I don't know if Nellie's is good. It's got a little swing in it. Gabby's for sure. Ruffles in for birdie, so it is 4s all around at the 8th. Uh-oh, bogeys by you and Saigo at 1. It is game on a Sunday. Or today at 9 from a little less than half the field that has played through here. So see the scoring average for the week. That's a product of a lot of things, isn't it, Allie? It's the length, it's the water down that right-hand side. We've seen some hole locations that are just hard to get to coming across the water. Just a really good par 4.
3 putts on offer, even if you do hit fairway, hit green. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to make a 5 on this hole, or maybe more. I thought Gabby might hit 3-wood here. You know, just with her lefts, there's plenty of club to get her into those bunkers. It's all good when it works.
I got about 30 yards worth of chase. Ruffles?
Well, Allison, you said it. You can get it down here and take advantage of your driver, and you can put it at this point in the fairway. Much better angle and shorter club. Gabby's looking at 166. Still a long ways out.
Isn't it? Leaking right, just a touch it is. She's joined Nellie Corder over on that right-hand side.
Just too many loose swings.
Round for Gabby Ruffels' attempt.
You know, this bunker, if you can talk yourself into it, it's not a bad place to be. You're kind of going lots of green to work with, right up at it.
I think that if you can talk yourself into it is such a good point, being so close to the water. 2 great shots from over there, proving the point.
Or talking yourself into being more aggressive with the target line on the second shot.
Yeah.
Knowing that, okay, if I miss it a little bit right, not as big of a deal.
Yeah, I think maybe just letting it go a touch quicker. If you do have the miss.
And Ruffels in for her sandy par. I think as it comes to world #1 trash talk, though, Nelly, a far more sophisticated Champions Dinner menu at her first major than Scottie Scheffler's Champions Dinner menu.
Hey, Ron, you bogey start for her out there today.
There's not a single non-par 5 playing under par today.
That's absurd. I can see it though. And we've learnt that already in our feature group coverage today. Now at 10, Gabby Ruffels. Nice tall tree just to the left of our 10 graphic. Start it there, draw it off. Depending on your shot shape.
So the par 5s are all the easiest 4 holes in the golf course. The 5th easiest hole is the par 4 6th on the front. We've seen it a couple times today.
So about 4 and a bit feet left for her. Second on the way for Ruffels. She find this back section should get the little nudge off that slope. It's one of the best they'll see all day. No fairway bunkers down here at 11. Just thinking about throwing it down towards the green side ones, though. She's got bragging rights.
Yeah, good chase there.
To finish things off for her.
Ruffels ready at 11.
That was a 9-iron for Gabby.
She's had a better look than me.
Well, she's going to have to just fly this on the green, kind of like a bump and run, and let it funnel down.
That was tasty.
But still a good finish. Ruffels to try and get this one up and down at 11. Feels like she's getting lapped over here at the par 4 after the 2 birdies next to her as they're off to the par 3. I mentioned Brooke Henderson over at 18 needing a birdie now.
Yeah. That was the ideal ball flight there. This is an 8-iron for Gabby.
Every now and again, she kind of gets a little high with her upper body.
Coming up, we got a bunker shot from Gabby Ruffels
coming up.
12.
She hopes area.
Yeah, just short on that
She's
approach
on the
putt, so she'll have a
upslope.
good read on this. Should be in.
Bad news is she's there now.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Will.
We'll see what option she chooses from that really tufty rough. More often than not, putter worked for Brooke Henderson throughout her round. You got quite a few options. Maybe hybrids, blade or wedge. We'll see.
You know, sometimes I found that kind of difficult when there are too many options. Like, it was always nice when you walked up and you're like, okay, well, it's buried. I'm going to hit this more like a bunker shot. But I got sometimes more confused when I would walk up and, well, I could do this. Well, I could do that. Well, then what about this? So I think that adds to the complexity of these shots.
She's asking if she gets relief.
For me, Angela, I know you'll get the official word. I think you have to be on the closely mown
Yeah, I
area
think
to
that's
get
right,
this
too.
drop right.
I'm going to ask. Hang on one second.
She's going to try and drop this wedge right on the back of the ball. And it just landed on the green. Nice.
Almost felt like she had.
So I apologize. I was just going to let you know, confirm, because her ball was in the rough. She did not get that relief. You have to be in the same cut of rough or grass.
That makes sense. She almost had to play left of that sprinkler. She felt like she was avoiding, just in case she caught it a little bit fluffy, and leaving it up on top in that hole. And still excellent job. Moments ago at the 12th, and now Gabby Ruffels, who also made bogey back at the par 3. Looking to solve the riddle at 13 for the first time this week.
There's just so much lag in that golf swing. You know, when the timing's right, it's going to have some real fizz off the club face.
With some of the great stories of what has happened and what is yet to come. At 13, fairway medal for Gabby Ruffels.
Yeah, just laying it up. She had 290 to the hole, so looking for a good layup.
Achieved.
Angela, with the hole location.
It's been dry ever since. It's been firming up as well on these weekend afternoons. That's going to be in play here for Gabby Ruffels, hitting to a downslope here for her third shot at the par 5.
Yeah, this is the one few times and go off the beam in the fairway. I mean, she's got to fly about 57 onto a downslope. Amy over there in the rough has a better look.
All right, after coming up short of the green, this is no picnic up and down for Gabby Ruffels.
That was a shot from over there. Beautifully executed. She probably had about 5-6 options she could have reached for there. And speaking to Angela's point earlier, sometimes you can get a little paralyzed by choice on golf courses, isn't it? Yeah, she didn't take it on into the same way.
All right, 5's not a bad score here today. 6 would have felt a little deflating, but it's a good battle. Put the par on the card, and after that really treacherous start.
Dapper in black. Mum Regina caught her in town as well. They're all staying together. Meanwhile, Jess is over in Prague, I think. Czech Republic this week. Now Ruffels. That'll work.
Yep, got some giddy up in it. Gonna get past the ball of Nelly.
Do you think Nelly was channeling the food Jess is eating this?
Gabby's got 133 here. You know, really just got to kind of send this out to the right a little bit. We saw Amy miss left. You don't really want to miss left here.
She's got a bit more grab on that one than Nelly was able to, and holds the putting surface. That's a good leave for an uphill birdie look, trying to get back to +2.
But now a classic reminder of what can happen when everything goes right. Gabby Ruffels. Curious how left she goes with this after watching Nelly's. Yeah, not at all. There you go. Didn't give it much credit break-wise. A lot of credit goes to her for a third birdie of the round.
What a mixed bag from that.
Disorientating. You know, and there's only about 3 holes that are parallel with each other. You're always thinking about the wind, another factor. Every drive, every second, all around the green, as Gabby Ruffels doesn't like that one at 15.
that back right hole location. That tee shot may.
I would not want to hit this ball that Gabby is about to hit. This lie is tough. It's downwind. The lie is running away from her and above her feet. She's got 163 to this hole location. Best bet is just to send this thing out to the left and do your best to make a par.
Which, given she's not going to have much opportunity to build some spin here, might be from long left.
You know, Angela stole the words right out of my mouth, and we've been on the air 40+ hours this week.
Gosh, that was really difficult, and she made it look real easy. So, very good, Amy Yang. And Gabby, she got about 6 different things going on in this putt. But in the end, it wants to go back uphill, so she needs to keep the pace up, getting closer to the hole.
Well, if it's going to go that close to the hole, it might as well make it. What a rally. Doubled the first, bogeyed 2 and 3, and if that had gone in, should have been 1 shot away from getting it all back from the beginning of the day. For Ruffels, who's 2 over and
Late switch.
It's hard to tell which, if she went with more club or less club. That's kind of how tricky the wind is right now.
Yeah, which if anything's probably kind of a touch into off the right.
it's the right decision, but look at that thing go. See what happens. Well, that was taking place. This is Gabby Ruffels for birdie. Wow, how slow that is for both those players.
This is why you don't.
Carlton Woods is not going to have this hole cut here with these greens running this fast.
No, yeah, I wonder if the final of the club championships. Maybe you might see a few of them, but seldom all of what we've seen the last 3 days. Now 4 today, including this one. So this for par for Ruffels. Well hold. She could have been talked out of a little of the left to right, break. Slightly different angle from Amy Yang's, but she held her nerve. Lucy Lee.
Tee ball in the air for Gabby Ruffels now at the par 3.
Yang from range, but she's going to miss one of that length. The conundrum of putting. Keeping inside the hole here for Gabby Ruffels.
2 under in her last 14 holes after starting 4 over through her first 3. Before those 2 tee balls, Gabby Ruffels ran up and hit this one.
She's going Amy's way. I think for Nelly, with her draw, it's actually really important for her to be comfortable. It's going to be close on that line.
I did not see a splash, so I kind of figured it was in the bunker. Gabby has similar number. They were basically at the same exact number. Again, 205 is playing 220 right now. It's starting to pump out here.
Taking a bit of a lash at it. Wants it to travel.
And it didn't. You can see that flag dancing. It just knocked that ball right out of the air. Didn't hit it poorly, but got gusted there.
Gated from back there.
Now the drop for Gabby Ruffels, about to play her fourth. And disappointing.
Had to hold on to her hat in more ways than one in the final round.
Yeah, she's dropped as many shots today as she had pretty much the entire week through 3 rounds leading into this. It's been just steadier golf, not great scoring, and anything but today, as Amy's cost herself some spots. Gabby Ruffels got off to that rough start, cost herself some spots. Thought maybe a closing birdie would bring it all back, but the water ball and then to here, and now trying to minimize the damage with this her 5th.
This is a really tough putt. She has a few things to manage here again.
Oh.
Don't you on this golf course? Yeah, needs to travel. It's a little bit of a brain fade there.
Now you can just see the finish line. You know, you get to this point, you put one in the water, you're ready to just kind of move on, and you can't have a lapse like that right at the end. You got to get it in the house. And unfortunately, now she's looking at another tough putt for this. Good news for Nelly, though. Nelly had to move her mark. So Nelly will pay attention to the end of this putt.
Oof. Top edge with speed. Double here is going to cost Gabby Ruffels about 30 grand. And that's if the next one goes in.
Really well, and I think these kind of rounds hurt even more because she did so good to kind of bounce back, and she was doing some good things, and then you walk away and you leave the tournament remembering this hole, and instead of all the good that you did from 4 to 17.
Yeah. And one of those bogey-free rounds yesterday, it was a lot of good this weekend. Just happened to be a few moments of bad sprinkled in, including the bookends. At 1 and 18 for Gabby Ruffels.
It's not going to be long until she starts challenging in majors. Absolutely has the game. She's only missed ever 2 major cuts in near